lovely Long Beach, California. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Alessandro Dalladone with Marco Barbadera up there in the production booth. You're here watching Apex Racing TV, and boy, it is great to be here in California over on Shoreline Drive to watch these Formula 3.5s around this legendary street course. Alessandro, how are you feeling about today?
It's gonna be interesting, Austin. Thank you for introducing me. It's definitely a interesting combination. In real life, you will never see or even imagine to see this kind of car on this lovely track. But thankfully, on iRacing, we have this chance. We might see Indy cars or Indy Pro cars around this track, but definitely not European like Formula cars. As Marco was suggesting.
Yeah, F1 used to race around here before they got absolutely ludicrously in speed. But the IndyCar, they still race around here. The full-size IndyCar, not just the Indy Pros and USF cars. And they do have a good show around here. I remember last time that they came here in 2019, we aren't going to mention last year, and had a little bit of controversial on the last lap going out into that long back straight section, and a blocking move coming into effect. And well, that race certainly felt like an iRacing post lobby after some point after that one, because boy, was it blocked, was it not a block? And this back straight is what we're talking about as we go underneath a few of the walkways of the convention center as Paul Ilbrink brings it into this final arena section. Hairpin slows it down. This hairpin's all right, and then it comes to the tightest hairpin in all of iRacing, which has certainly brought us a lot of funny moments on Reddit. If you've seen the week 13 stuff when this track was first released.
Not only in week 13, Austin, also in the IMSA week, I've been the victim and the guy who killed plenty of people in this hairpin, so I know the feeling of both sides.
Well, thankfully, it's not a rolling start.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a very good thing, as we are now already halfway through the qualifying session, and Ben Fuller is our pole sitter at the moment.
That's a new name.
Indeed, I think we will see plenty of new names profiting from maybe a lower strength of field this week, Austin.
Yeah, Ben Fuller, though, 5,000 I rating currently, and that's a name I've heard before, but I'm not sure of where I've heard it.
Yeah, there are some interesting new names today. Drivers that might not always make the top split. We also have Zach Novak, new entry, with the beautiful Jordan colors. I, for a moment, almost thought that James was joining us tonight.
Nah,
then I realized it was Zach Novak.
Zach's is replacing it as, ooh, into the wall. Lucas Levens goes. Just a little tap to the wall in his McLaren car. As tackling this track in the Formula 3.5 car is going to be very tricky. As here's Emil Bernstoff taking very big use of that runoff area for a big run-up and start of his qualifying lap. You see the DRS being activated for him as he starts his lap. 5 minutes down, 3 to go here in Long Beach.
Yeah, going all in with his second lap. Needs to be careful because at zero actually will invalidate your lap, so it's very easy around Long Beach to slightly touch the wall, which maybe in race condition would not really be an issue, but in qualifying, if you just barely touch it, it's your lap done. As Paul Ilbrink is crossing the start-finish line for his second lap, but he does not improve. He stays in 6th place as Zach Novak.
Zach. This isn't the Cup circuit, boy. Donuts are not really comfortable on the qualifying lap, buddy.
Need to be careful because it's a big class race, so if you go sideways or pointing the wrong direction, the racing steward will already warn you with a black flag. So might be something to watch for. As Hamilton is crossing the start-finish line for his second lap and puts his car in 4th place, 6th, 10th out of pole position. I think we have pretty much qualifying done. We have still Dylan Frackleton and Zach Nova without any lap time in the session. I think we can give a shout out quickly to our sponsor on Apex Racing TV. We have a virtual racing school to improve your own track performance with 50 plus data packs, road over racing, dirt racing, setups, track guides, data analysis softwares, and one-on-one coaching, which is also integrated with the Apex Racing Academy, our own data packs 29 with setups, track guides, wiki group coaching sessions, and also newly introduced one-on-one coaching sessions. So if you are interested, just have a look at the Apex Racing Academy website. And also, but not least, is SDK Gaming to add your iRacing beautiful live ads for your streaming broadcast, for your leagues, Twitch, and adjust your team strategy on the fly. So open in and have a look at our great sponsors that make this beautiful camera work and broadcast happen. And also, remember to run an Apex Racing Academy logo on your car, because if you race more than 10 official races, you are in the contest to win some beautiful prizes.
Yeah, 10 official races with that beautiful Apex Racing Academy logo on your car, which is very easy to do. It's going to be very interesting and very good amount of prizes for those drivers. Ben Fuller takes pole position here with Ever Samborski right beside of Ian Keeman. In 3rd place, followed by Emil Bernstoff, Andreas Ferres-Lete, Eno Gian, Paul Ilbrink, Lucas Levens, Sinan Siftsi, Philip Hillard, Masumi Abrume, and Noriko Mizumo. In 12th place with Riley Miller in 13th, Bahaden Ayan in 14th, Christopher Block, Daniel Gallus, Adam Kahn, Dylan Freckleton, and Zach Novak at the end of the grid. Didn't put in a qualifying time. Well, they're all gridded up and getting ready to go. The sun is out in this beautiful California sky, and we're about to go. Green flag racing around the streets of this legendary street circuit here at Long Beach. Turn 1, and, well, really the fountain is going to be very interesting to watch as we're getting ready to go green here.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward for this one. The start is gonna be epic. Hopefully everybody will make it safe through the first section. Obviously the fountain section is gonna be the focus point. If you go through there, you are most likely to have a clean start. But it's always tough with these walls on both sides, cold tires, and obviously people trying to make up some valuable spots in the first few corners, as we are waiting for Ben Fuller and Riley Miller and our weekly rundown here to Samborski beautiful helmet, which is a must-see every week.
5 red lights. Tires are warm, and let's go. Green flag racing here at Long Beach, and away they go. Riley Miller decided to start for the pits. Immediately, the 3 wide at the background. I believe that's Zach Novak and Adam Kahn going side by side, but side by side it is with Fuller and Samborski around to the outside. Fuller holding that inside line, and Bernstoff and Fraz is going down. Big send by Andreas down there trying to get on Samborski as they race on into the fountain corner. Everyone going back down to single file, then going back up to 2 wide as they get that going. Ben Fuller leading out Ian Keeman as he jumps up there in second place ahead of Edward Samborski, biggest winner out of that opening start.
Yeah, great start. Everybody making sure not to
Riley
have
Miller.
contact.
Riley Miller decided to start for the pit lane. He's actually missed the turn in as Zach Novak. There he is down the inside, going down Adam Kahn.
And we need to be careful, Austin, looking at drivers dropping down because they might not have done an incident, but they might have touched the wall, and the car obviously is very fragile. So if someone's
there's a collision. That's Sean. You know he's off, and that's the right thing to do right there. Just wait till everyone's past you and not cause a further incident. Up front, I am Kevin and Ever Samborski. They're going side by side. Samborski back into second place. They get down onto Shoreline, driving into the fountain corner right here. And I think Samborski might have used his DRS to make that move possible.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we have a lot of passing option around here apart from the main stretch. There is a little back stretch after this section as we have someone very slow, is Paul Ilbrink.
Yeah,
might have flipped the inside curb.
Yeah, you gotta watch out the side pods on this car because hitting those curbs on the inside, especially coming out to the straights. We got a spinner in the background, that's gone. That's Adam, and he's parked sideways, and that's not gonna be happy for him. And very nice livery, I must say.
Plenty of time to back up and get back started as there was nobody around. We are back at the hairpin. I don't know how you can avoid contact. I think we
just had our first incident in the hairpin. First incident in the hairpin. Zach Novak turned someone there, and well, traffic jam.
Yeah, it's usually around here to have some trouble at the hairpin as we have another move for 14th place. Hiller and John trying to.
He tried to look down the inside.
It's very difficult to side-by-side to this opening section of the track. We might do some side-by-side racing later on as these guys are doing. Lemes and Sifty for 6th place.
Sifty looking very nice, and that paint scheme he's running very interesting. It's only one side of the car too. It's not on the left side, it's just on the right side.
Might be a work in progress, literally.
It also might just be upside down.
But if he gets a decent result, he might tell us a nice story after the end of this race in the interview. As a Paul Ilbrink is only 8, a bit particular position for him. He's not used to run in the midfield, and here we are with our representation from Japan with Abu Rame, today 11th midfield driver usually in these broadcast races, and Mizuno, our second Japanese driver for the night. It's gonna be tough also for Paul to get some positions back.
I've just hopped out of the broadcast room for a little bit to check on that name, and it was actually just a word that he put on there, but he never put on the actual part of the car. He just put a picture of the word there. I think it's just gibberish, though.
Ben Fuller with the new fastest lap of the race at 1:10.05. Gap to Samborski is almost 3 seconds, 3.3 actually.
Yeah, Ben Fuller put on a absolute show right now. Speaking of the absolute show, look down the inside. These walls here and keep the car as clean as possible. And I gotta tell you, some of these drivers must have floor damage after hitting some of these bumps.
Yeah, absolutely. I think hitting the curbs also can cause some damage as Paul Ilbrink manages to go by Sifty for 7th place, and now he has 3 seconds ahead Lemes, the Argentinian driver. Got a decent start.
Yeah. Right on board. Paul Ilbert gets a little bit of a wider curve, but look at that exit he's got. He's going to try to pull away from Satifi right behind him. But he's got all that draft up front. Ben Fuller, another fastest lap of the race, 1:09.865. He's running qualifying laps out here.
Yeah, absolutely. This pace is absolutely amazing. It's hard to see someone pull away so fast in the early part of the race with some Bolski, who is actually one of the best drivers in the series on a weekly basis, struggling to keep up with Fuller. So
yeah, Ben, we got a spin in front of Jean, and oh, Jean comes into Zach Novak. Big crash on the straight, and Zach Novak's in the air. Oh, we got a, well, Marco might be used to sending out a red flag at this point, or a safety car, but it was a spin and then a little bit of avoidance, and then Zach Novak came into him, and it's a multi-car incident. 4 cars involved here near the aquarium, and oh my goodness, Philip Hiller turned around, and I say Philip what? Well, Philip was the first one involved, and that all happened right in front of him, and he just couldn't avoid Zach Novak spinning across the track. And oh my goodness, right out Aquarium Way, and some might say that car will be sleeping with the fishies at the end of this race.
Yeah, very unfortunate. They almost got away all because the car that spun, Hillard, did a very good job keeping it away from the wall. Nowhere to go for the drivers behind.
And for once, we didn't commentators curse that. That right belongs to Tim DeLau in chat. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, usually I am the one cursing drivers whenever I'm broadcasting. We missed in the meantime a battle for 4th place where Ferraz Leite managed to go through Bernstorff for 4th place.
We got that replay right here, and Perez very far behind, but I think there was a little bit of hold up for Emil. There it is, Emil looking to the tire barrier. And Ferris is around the outside. You can see that damage on the front right of Emil right there. And well, he's going to be struggling through some of these corners now. Suspension looks all right.
Yeah, I think also he's not going to lose too much in these low corners. The medium speed corners, like before the last sector in the hairpin, there he might lose some speed actually. But in the first part of the track where the speeds are low, I don't think he will lose much. We see, we'll have to keep an eye on him. He already lost 1.3 seconds on the sector. Dennis is for sure eager to really win and get that top 5.
Noriyuki Mizuno. And, oh, another car into the wall. That's Riley Miller. And, yeah, rough day. Decided to start for the pit lane, and, well, spun coming out of the pits. And he's just end up in the wall. Again, very unfortunate.
In the meantime, in chat, they ask if we are sure that it's the real Paul Ilbert today.
Well, it's his account. I'm not sure if it's him on the wheel.
Everyone can have a rough week.
Yes.
There are plenty of events going on, like 2024, to prepare maybe. It's a tough track. Some drivers might not really enjoy driving on the road circuits.
Yeah, I'm not one of these drivers that would go out here on a street course. All my experiences on street courses not fun.
I enjoy racing on street circuits. I must say I really like it, and it's a difficult skill to develop because you have no room for mistakes. If you make a mistake, your race is over. But it takes practice. I know we are not the ones that really enjoy practice.
Yes. I know, I know, I believe it was Marcus Ericsson who said you always have to be aware on a street circuit. Or was that Pastor Maldonado? It was one of those two drivers.
Struggle to be aware also on most of the circuits.
I believe that's why it was funny when he said it.
Beautiful Lotus livery for Galis, our German driver in 14th place. But here we are with our biggest mover of the race, Dylan Frackleton in 12th, fighting with Aburame, Ayan and Suno and 60. So we have a nice group of drivers from 8th to 12th. But
Yeah,
here
there's
is our
Ben
lead.
Fuller, just all by himself right now, heading into turn 1. It was Jolyon Palmer. Who was it? I was way off.
He literally checked out full in this opening third of the race. But we always say that the race is over only when the drivers cross the finish line. Even more around this track. Because I think soon Full will start to hit some slower traffic, let's say. Because
Yeah,
the
he's got a
track is
57-second gap to Riley Miller in front of him, and he's putting down 109s constantly. Last lap was another 109, and well, as we pull up our handy-dandy mini-map up there, you can see just a gap to Riley Miller and Ben Fuller. As Ben comes across the line, Riley's just now entering the fountain corner. As oh no, contact between Ilbrink and that is who's that upside down?
It's Lemes, our
Lucas.
Argentinian brother.
Oh no!
Please someone give him a little bit of help.
Where's the safety car when we need it? This is Ilbrink, and it's a lockup for Lucas, and Ilbrink went in there going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and then, oh no!
Yeah, not a day to remember for Paul Ilbrink, but even worse for Lucas Agustin Lemes, doing a great job so far. He made just a tiny mistake, and for Paul Ilbrink, not much he could do because you're already on the limit on that corner. Even more, it's very tricky, and it's so easy to lock up the tires as Lemes did, and for the same reason, Ilbrink couldn't get the car turned enough to avoid hitting him. So bad day for Lemes, but we will have to keep an eye on Ilbrink because now he has damage and he lost also a handful of position.
Yeah, and I would say the biggest winner out of this, out of that incident, will have to be Riley Miller. 2 free spots if he's able to get to that part of the track where that incident happened, and they teleport to the pits right there. As well, there goes Paul into the pits, and he's definitely got a lot of damage on that car.
Yeah, absolutely. For Bernstorff instead, this is also exceptionally good. Remember that he had a little moment earlier on in 5th place, and he lost a bit of time compared to I am Kim and Andres Ferraz Leite. We are watching now for the battle. For the podium actually, 3rd place and 4th place, very close. Gaps are big compared to the leading two drivers. Fuller with a 9.7, 9.9 for Samborski. Kiman and Leite are wrapping around high 10s, even 11. Kiman made actually a big mistake in this lap because he set 113.
Now 113 for Keeman, and he's slow. Here comes Burstoff looking down the inside, decided not to go with it. as they pass the dolphin fountain in front of the aquarium. So double right-hand turn, a little bit of contact with the wall for Keeman.
Yeah, we will see plenty of driver. I think there will be not a lot of cars that
Didn't hit the
yeah. I usually, after a nice race in this beautiful circuit, which I've done plenty, I must say, during the IMSA week, I used to count how many times I got 0 X's. And I can tell you they are many. Formula cars, maybe you need to be more careful, but with GT cars, you can lean on the wall very good.
Yeah, Formula cars, if you lean on the wall, you're going to lose something.
Paul Abraham is still sitting in the pits, so I think it's day over for him. He might go out and do some laps, but there's pretty much no point in doing that. Everybody behind him is out, and in front, if nobody is retiring, there will be no position to gain. As we have still this beautiful battle for the podium, and behind we have a big group from 7th place to 10th place, Sifty Ayan, Fracket, and Aburame.
That's a train right there. The battle for 7th, really, and behind. As I'm constantly hearing the iRacing crash sounds. I think that's the car that's bottoming out right there.
Yeah, I think so. The bumps here are super nasty. It's very difficult to avoid them. You have to go on bumps sometimes. They are right on the racing line.
Yeah, this car handles over bumps kind of like a cheese grater. If you hit the bump, you might break one of your side pods, and it's going to be very hard to get some speed down the street.
For Preston, I think there is not much damage because he's still lapping consistently on pace with Ferras Leite and Keeman. So he's not completely out of this battle. He's 3 seconds behind, but at the same time he's not losing that much, so he might consider very, very lucky after the hit he had earlier on to have not a lot of damage.
Yeah, it just has that little tweak to the wing. So he's definitely hurting in this part of the track right now. But if these two ahead of him continue to fight, he would still have a good chance to, well, maybe carry his weight around there.
Yeah, we have just crossed the halfway line of this race. Fuller leading by 6.5 seconds on Edson Boschi. I'm Keeman, Ferras Leite, and Berstov in this beautiful camera shot provided by our own Marco Barbanera. And then we have a big gap to Mizuno, Sifty, Ayan, Fracket, and Aburame, rounding up the top 10. Christopher Block, Daniel Galis, Adam Kohn, and in 14th place, 1 lap down is Riley Miller. He will be soon joined by Kohn because Ben Fuller is lapping very, very fast.
Yeah, Ben's just now coming into the hairpin, and Khan is actually in a fight with Gallus right now. We're looking at a fight between Mazafumi and Dylan Freckleton ahead of him.
Also here we have the weather for us today, 30 degrees Celsius. I can ask Austin what's the reference in Fahrenheit, since we are in the US and we established that the correct indication should be not the metric system, at least in the US.
Yeah, at least in the US. Where's our freedom units, Marco? Come on. It's 86 degrees. Thank you, Marco. Walking calculator.
We are not very good in math, so our good cameraman used a nice calculator to give us the correct temperature, which I would have done the same because I'm terrible at math.
I think all of us are not the greatest at maths. At some points of maths, I can't really do quick maths, I must say. And oh, it's a spin for Freckleton.
Plenty of room to turn around.
Man, that's just too much mustard. Going over that hump, getting onto the throttle, and just upset the car. Around it goes.
Yeah, it's that inside curve.
Yeah,
Killing people every time.
It's like a jump.
It's fun because with this car, if you touch it, the car is so unsettled that it's likely to spin out. But with GT cars, when I raced around here in GTs and GT3s mostly, you can literally run on that curve, cut it all the way, and you gain so much time.
I saw somebody pull that off in the IR01, and I was just godsmacked at how they did that. The IR01 can do here in under a minute, which, saying that out loud is just insane.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if the IR1 will have this track on schedule. Hopefully not, because it's mind-blowing. As a Fuller sets, okay, and Fuller sets another fastest lap of the race, 1:09.703.
Yeah, that's next week for the IR1.
And can we do a broadcast of that? As a kid,
oh no! Just too much of a send for Andreas, and he was looking like he was headed to the Bubba Burger right over there. And very unfortunate for him. Emerson Borski, second place. Keeman and Bernstoff move up into third and fourth. As here's that replay right here. Looking down the inside on Keeman, and no.
What? He managed to lose not a lot of time, to be fair, because it could be much worse. He got the car stopped quickly, reversed it just a tiny bit, and not got stuck with the barriers. Keeman managed to be calm and not turn, seeing Velas Leite braking so late. This gives Bernstoff a freebie.
Yeah.
And moves him up in fourth place.
Very good freebie for Emil right now, and as Andreas trying to get back in front of Emil, and Emil with that broken front wing, it's not going to be much of a challenge as he gets out of the way and lets Andreas get back him. Actually, no, that's Riley Miller I'm talking about. There's Emil from him. So I'm getting confused again.
Yeah, I think it's the first time in this season for Emil in the Apex Racing TV broadcast race. He raced in the F3 earlier on in this double duty weekend for him.
Yeah, when you race multiple different formulas and different types of cars around different circuits, you're going to get a little bit confused and have your minds in different areas, and then try to take one bit of car into another bit of car. And the Formula 3.5 compared to the Formula 3 car is a completely different beast of a car. The 3.5 a lot heavier, a lot more power, just a lot more everything. And the Formula 3 car, well, that thing is like a paperweight. You can toss it over anything and well, send it and it will go there. Not into the wall, though. They both have that in common. Except the 3.5 car turns into a pogo stick sometimes.
Yeah, indeed. That's absolutely right. Ben Fuller navigating through traffic. Now he's putting also, I think, Galis one lap down. And Christopher Block is just in front of him. So we will have only 10 cars on the lead lap. Not that it really matters. Unfortunately, no safety cars. So if you go one lap down, you will stay one lap down. Samborski 10 seconds behind. Got that position at the start after conceding to I am Keyman. In the first few corners. And then Benz to Ferraz Leite in 4th and 5th. This might be a good battle setting up for the last few laps, as we have also a battle for 8th place between Ayane and Aburame. 1.3 seconds is the gap between the two drivers. You can see how drivers have to work the wheel, catch slides, and micro correct every time. It's so difficult around here. Surprisingly, Ferraz Leite doesn't really gain a lot of time through this section compared to Bernstoff. But I think he will be able to get a pass done, or at least attempt a pass next lap.
Yeah, Sarkar was a bit quiet right there. I was doing a little bit of research on Ben Fuller, G2 Esports driver, also recruited by Sauber Esports for a little bit in the F1 series. So that's where that name seemed a bit familiar to me. And, well, he's certainly proving his worth here today right now with this insane performance. Where's Tim when you need him?
Yeah, he got quiet in the chat.
I think his IR01 race started.
Definitely plenty of work to be done with the new car, although unfortunately participation is already low during standard hours compared to the first few weeks.
Yeah, this is true. As Emil still ahead of Andreas, and Andreas back onto the bumper of Emil. Here we go. And the number 7. Try another move. It's in the draft. Is he going to go for that inside line with that lower grip? He's going to have to brake a little bit earlier. Not tempting it right here. And oof. Every time they come up to the wall, it just sneaks up on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever car you are racing. I tried to race last week in the Weekend Warriors race. Another time very close to the wall, Ferraz Leite in the Spec Racer Ford, and my race didn't end up really well, but that was some technical issues. But even with that car and much slower speed, it's too much master from Aburame. Almost 4 laps to go, so Ferraz Leite will have to make something happen. Different lines for these two drivers in the hairpin. Also different ways you can also do the hairpin on your wheel. If you have a Formula wheel, you can either cross the arms or just do the corner with one hand on the wheel. There is a beautiful Tony Kanaan on board on YouTube in the IndyCar, showing you how nasty that hairpin is.
Yeah, that hairpin from all of this beautiful view up here in the blimp. Very nice to look at as we see the beautiful city of well, Long Beach as they go between the buildings right there. Really can't see much through there, but this driver has been keeping a very well, most of these drivers have been keeping a fairly clean race. They've been struggling with this track, and Well, this is definitely going to be a race to be proud for finishing on the lead lap, and if you have a 0x, it's going to be even more proud of.
Well, I think, Austin, if you don't have a 0x, you are most likely to have parked the car.
I'm not one of those people to park a car if I was already lapped. I would continue on with this race, and well, you never know what's going to happen with some of these drivers. Like, somebody might just get a lax head. Next thing you know, they're in the wall. That's a freebie. Anything can happen. Riley Miller, he's up to 14th right now. He started from the pit lane and spun immediately coming out of the pits, and he stayed in. And well, that won't give up attitude. It's really working out for him right now. And he's got 4 freebies, and oh, that's a wall contact for Bahaden right behind. They're in 8th place.
Looks like when you are close to another driver, you don't really get a chance to close up on the bumper and attempt a pass. The dirty air affecting even in this twisty track.
Yeah, the dirty air is not going to be helping him at all. As dirty air, slow corners, medium speed corners, very tight section, no runoff as well. It's just met with wall. You definitely got to be more precise about where you want to overtake on these corners, because the driver you're trying to overtake is not going to be giving you any room at all, and you're going to have to be a little bit more cautious, and that just kind of makes what overtaking here at Long Beach very difficult, and something to look forward to, because you have to really work for it.
Yeah, definitely. As Fuller is starting lap 29, we are 2 laps away from the end of this race.
Ben Fuller, also one of the drivers in the iRacing World Championship. Earlier this year, he set the world record and the first sub 3-minute lap around Le Mans in the F1 car, which, just thinking about that, is insane.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. At least I didn't even think about it, to be fair. Racing the F1 at Le Mans.
I've thought about it a couple times. I've never actually attempted it because I can't really drive the car, but that's a different story. White flag in the air as Ben Fuller brings it to the line. He's got one more flag to go here at Long Beach. New fast lap of the race as well. 109.622. Ben is putting on an absolute show.
Yeah, an extended qualifying session for Ben. Never really had anything to fight for position, at least. Same for Samborski. The gap to Keeman has opened up pretty quickly. Then Keeman made a mistake. Lost the position to Ferraz later, who then missed turn 1 and relegated himself to P5 behind Berser, who I consider probably one of the luckiest drivers in the field today.
Yeah, I'm not even going to argue with that. You're completely right. And one last time through the hairpin and making it count. Started pole, put in the fastest lap, led every single lap. It's a grand slam for Ben Fuller as he takes the win here. And another fastest lap, 109.4. Ever Samborski tried to bring the fight with him today, but oh man, he was certainly surprised. He's going to finish home in 2nd place. There he goes, as there's I'm Keeman sitting in 3rd. He's got a gap behind him to Emil. And after that field overtake, well, I'm Keeman is very happy, and Emil Bernstoff holding off Andreas, and Andreas spins up the wheels. Bernstoff is going to hold it off for 4th place.
Good race for these guys as we are looking at 250 and Ayan for 7th place. Too far to attempt anything. Safety will bring the car home in 7th. And what about Mitsuno instead? 6th place, great drive by the Japanese driver, starting all the way from 12th position.
Yeah.
Very consistent.
Very consistent. Dylan Freckleton, biggest mover of the race, up 8 spots. He's going to be very happy about this race. Few of the drivers unable, well, actually a big shot to a few of our drivers that we were actually looking forward to. Paul Ilbrink not really finishing this race. Zach Novak, well, I think he just chose the wrong week to race in. Unfortunately, Long Beach, very different, but he was also caught in few incidents right behind him. Here's our results. Ben Fuller takes the win by 16 seconds ahead of Ever Samborski. I am Keeman in 3rd place. Emil Bernstoff, Andreas Ferraz-Litte, and Noriyuki Mizuno, Sinan Satifi, Bahadan Ayan, Masafumi Abarume, Dylan Freckleton, Christopher Block, Daniel Gallus, Adam Kahn, Riley Miller, Paul Ilbrink, Lucas Lemes, Eno Jean, Philip Hillard, and Zach Novak at the end of this grid. And it's a return to normal next week as we head to Silverstone.
Yeah, definitely a much better track for these kind of cars. I must say a boring track in my opinion, especially since the renovation. But for sure we will see most of the guys maybe come back. It might be a bit a weird week too because Daytona 24 is...
This is true. I know even us in the same, all of us are in the same team, and I don't even know which day we're driving it yet.
We figure something out.
Yeah, I know our Saturdays are packed full and our Sundays are packed full as well. So the Apex commentary team gonna be struggling to find some clean air to get some runs in. But
unless someone beans the car early on.
That I'm gonna pin that one on you because I don't really think I'll be driving until after I commentate.
We'll see.
We'll see, but knowing our past excursions in Sebring,
it's gonna be interesting for sure.
First 15 minutes we need to watch out for.
Yeah, indeed, definitely. Well, Austin, that was a very, very nice race. Impeccable performance by Ben Fuller. Hopefully we'll have a chance to chat with him. We are still waiting for some of the drivers.
We're still waiting. He just typed in the chat. GG boys, was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to see you out there on track. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a moment to come into the voice channel. I would say about a minute. We should say minute and a half. But big shout out to Apex Racing Academy, helping some of these drivers out here on track. I know the Formula 3.5 data pack is very popular, especially with the Formula 3 data pack as well, being the title sponsor of that series, but the Formula 3.5 also as well, especially with the driver coaching on there as well. It's integrated with VRS, so Virtual Racing School, everyone knows of this site in the competitive scene, so VRS, very popular service and directly integrated with Apex Racing Academy as well.
Yeah, then not to forget SDK Gaming with the beautiful Formula 3.5 layout, which is what we use for these beautiful broadcasts, for your leagues, for anything you might need. But Ben Fuller, our race winner for today, is right down with Austin.
Ben, what a race. Qualifying on pole and then led every lap. Fast lap of the race, clean sweep. How are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, feels good, thanks. Car felt great. I've been using the VRS set this week. No changes. Felt great all week long. This session was pretty horrible. High temps, high usage, high wind. Was really difficult to get the power down at some spots, but fortunately did a lot of races this week to prepare. Just trying to farm the IR. And I think it was a pretty good race. I mean, I made a couple mistakes. I'm not happy with that, but overall I think I had really good pace. I was pushing the car really hard, and I think I gambled the most, and fortunately I got the most out of it. So pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it's your first appearance in the SOF race here in the Formula 3.5 Championship this season. And, well, you pulled it off of a bang here at Long Beach. Was Long Beach really that race that you were looking forward to preparing for, or was it just a circumstance thing?
Yeah, more of a circumstance thing. You know, I started off in the Williams, that swapped over to the McLaren. I didn't really gel with the McLaren very well. Fortunately, the IR01 came out, and I really like it, but the series just isn't really producing the participation that I would like.
Yeah,
and I feel
it's
like
a very
I need
difficult...
to farm. I need to farm the iRating to be able to have a shot at the Pro Series this season. So, I mean, I have no idea if I have the talent to be able to compete there, but there's only one way to find out, and I have to get the iRating to get that. So, just working on that. And then I came over here because I've driven this car a little bit before. I really like the handling of this car. I think it suits me well, so very happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Formula 3.5 car, one of the most better handling car on iRacing, and home to one of the highest SOF grids every Saturday that you just happen to hop in on. Next week is at Silverstone. Will we be seeing you again?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely here to stay. I enjoy this car a lot. I think next week should be a lot better for participation. I know a lot of guys don't really like the walls around here, so I think Silverstone will be a lot better, and hope to get another win.
All right, those are some fighting words. Glad to have you in the series, and we'll see you next week. Before I let you go, Ben, anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank myself because I did a great job, and thank you guys.
All right, thank you, Ben. You have yourself a great day. Joining us in the commentary booth with Alessandro is Evan Samborski.
Eddie, talk us through your race. It's been pretty quiet today.
Walls hurt your car. That's all you need to know.
Indeed, absolutely. You had a decent start. I think I am Kima managed to get the position, but in the end you made a pass, a rare pass, I must say, and then from there was pretty much it.
Yeah, I tried to crash myself in turn 1 immediately. That was a bad idea. I completely missed my braking mark. I mean, I hit it and the car just kept going straight. So I was like, oh, okay, well, there's a wall there. So thankfully I got the car slowed down. Obviously I had to let IM by. I mean, you're just not going to go 2x2 through this track. It's a death sentence. And then coming out of the hairpin, he got a bad exit. So I just pounced. I hit the DRS button, got in his draft. I was like, well, this is not a great idea, but we're going for a pass. And luckily I didn't slap the wall. And then I was starting to settle in. I felt really good, and then I just carried too much speed, got the wall, hurt the car, and that was it. I was just running around trying not to run out of fuel.
Yeah, I saw the wing a bit bent toward the end, but I wasn't sure if it was a glitch on my end. But it's pretty much for everybody the same situation. I think it's very, very difficult to keep the car clean for the whole 30 laps.
Yeah, I did plenty of practice. I'm not sure what happened. I think I just caught a bump wrong, and it pushed me out a little wide. And then I had indecision about what to do, whether I should just try and spin the car. And then I thought I was just going to get a glancing blow, but man, I just drove straight into it. I mean, it was, I could have used a safer barrier there, I think.
Well, definitely we've seen some lucky drivers today when having some contact with the wall of the barriers. And what about Silverstone next week? It's a Daytona 24 weekend, so it's gonna be a bit weird. Probably some drivers will have not the chance to show up, but definitely a much better track for this car.
Really looking forward to it. No Daytona 24-hour commitments. Teams running a different car. I don't own it, so I told them have fun. And I really like Silverstone. It should be proper, good fun. I like driving it, so hopefully I can be a little more consistent, avoid any race-ending incidents, and see what I can do.
Well, thanks very much, Eddie. Anybody you would like to thank before we let you go?
The guy that put that barrier in, because at least I was still able to continue. So good job, guy in Long Beach.
Well, thank you very much, Eddie. See you next weekend. Have fun.
All right, sounds good. You too.
Well, thank you, Eddie. We're joined by Paul Ilbrink right now. He didn't actually finish on the podium, but yeah, Paul, very rough race for you. What happened out there?
I don't know. Things that happen if you don't practice a lot for this new track that I've not raced really. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sorry.
But I just qualified so far back, and I got like a bit involved in like a couple guys doing moves early on, so I dropped a bit back. I had like no pace for the lead anyway, so I was just trying to make it home and try to stay safe. And at that point in the race, I was lapping quickly, caught a guy in front of me, and he just missed the corner and slammed the brakes, so he was like parked on the racing line there, and I was like half a second behind him, so I couldn't avoid him. So yeah, the car, well, it was like slow, but could still drove fine. But it was like too much damage. So yeah, it was race over, and I was happy to donate some iRacing for the good cause here.
Well, I'm pretty sure that iRacing did go to a good cause. Will we be seeing you next week at Silverstone, or will you be committed for the Daytona 24-hour?
I don't think I'll be racing Daytona, but even if I am, I'm sure I'll can get a break to drive some laps here in Silverstone. So no walls anywhere close to the track there, so should be fine.
All right. Well, thank you for hopping in. Before I let you go, anyone want to thank a little bit of a shout out today?
No one today.
All right. Well, you have yourself a good day, and hopefully you have yourself a good week, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you.
And over to Alessandro for some closing thoughts.
Must say some happy drivers, some less happy drivers today at Long Beach. That's what unfortunately these strict circuits bring. Will, as we have already said, come back next week with Silverstone. So we go back to Europe, so we will go back to the metric system. Well, actually, we stayed with the metric system also this week, to be fair. For Austin is not a very happy thing, though. Don't miss the next lives here on Apex Racing TV. We have tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow. Or today for Europeans, the AMF GT Series at 9:40 British time. So AOC Series, and then the Spec Racers for the Weekend Warriors at 8 British time. And also, if you want to check out Austin tomorrow, you have the beautiful IGP Fan F3 VRS Series from Barcelona. Always very fun, plenty of cars, not a race you absolutely need to watch.
Yeah, the IGP Fun Series tomorrow going to be absolutely very fun and entertaining. Thank you all, everyone, for joining here on Apex Racing TV for the iRacing Formula 3.5 Championship. I've been joined by Alessandro Dalladone. I'm Austin Knight, and we had Marco Barbadera in the production booth, and I hope y'all have a fantastic night.